Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome back viewers to this ESD course on sustainable and clean energy. So, in the last class we were discussing about the policy, ESD policy for energy education. So, policy 1 we have discussed. Now, we will go to the policy 2. So, the policy 2 advocates for like education policy should be that means introducing should be to the existing education policy a serious lack in renewable energy courses, and no such specialized courses are available. So, at the technical level, so there can be two approaches to increase this to involve the students as the major stakeholder by increasing the job opportunities. The more like for example, more and more job opportunities can be created with the with solar energy sector, hydro energy sector, or wind energy sector, or you can say biofuel energy sector. If job opportunities can be created, then and it can be introduced in the technical institutes, then definitely there can be definite improvements, substantial improvement in the consciousness and awareness of the sustainability. So, through the understanding of the necessities of the renewable energy and making it compulsory for all, that means from school education onwards, we can say from the secondary level to higher secondary to higher education, it can be made as a compulsory subject for all the students, students from the school level to the higher education, because like the environment, when we are studying about the environment education to how to take care of our environment, our planet, our ecosystem, etc. Similarly, energy is such a energy is such a factor, such a resource which directly affects the environment and climate. So, how we must, all of us, we must have the basic idea about how to create the renewable and clean energy, and how to save energy, how to consume energy sustainably, so that we can save it for the future generation. So, this kind of awareness and education should be inculcated, developed from the very beginning of our education system. So, at the higher secondary level, National Education Policy 2020. So, it has also already introduced the vocational training, that is the students can be trained through vocational training. So, this can serve as the basis for introduction to the green energy, green economy, green market, green jobs. So, they can at this level the students can be asked to observe them, to learn them, to and to by introducing them to some mini projects, mini social projects, geographical projects, environmental projects. So, that could be added in their curriculum, and they would be exposed to this kind of hands-on activities, practical activities, field activities as a part of the training, and so that even in the vocational education also it can be incorporated. The training can be incorporated as the mini projects for how to create the green energy sources. So, these things can be introduced from the very beginning. At the graduate level, similarly, the MHRD, and that means now the Ministry of Education can make it compulsory, like our students are studying this physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology as the foundational science subject. Similarly, energy science can be also be made compulsory for every kind of job, that for technical students, for creating the more job opportunities for them as a mandatory subject for every student to learn from the very beginning, from the first year of the technical things. So, the study of renewable energy can be promoted among the technical institutes all across the country by introducing it from the very beginning, from the first year onto graduate level, making it mandatory and compulsory, and to learn, so that if they learn, all of them they learn as a mandatory subject, as a basic subject, science subjects, definitely the awareness can also be enhanced, increased. And so, in future also they, whenever they go for interdisciplinary research or any higher studies, they can very well blend this, they can blend this kind of aspect, this energy aspect, this sustainable energy aspect in their future research and job skills also. So, then job application based, similarly enhancing the emphasizing on the importance of clean energy, because energy is the source of all kinds of activity, human activity, be it technical, be it manual, be it agriculture. So, energy is everywhere, it is the like the nervous system of the whole economy, whole the environment system. So, emphasizing importance of the clean energy, sustainable energy. So, we can also provide the workshops for employees from time to time as a part of the continuous learning training. So, similar special department to ensure the zero carbon footprint, even at the school level also, even at the school level for the school children also we can introduce the zero carbon footprint audit by the schools, by the institutes, by the companies, so that that it will create a kind of awareness among the stakeholders, that is how much we are carbon footprint we are creating, and how to decrease it, how to lessen it, how to come down to the zero carbon or zero carbon target, etc. And similarly, similar job opportunities can also be created for them. So, in the field, so that more and more companies will take the responsibility, and more students will be interested for interdisciplinary research and sustainable, and especially the research in the sustainable and clean energy. So, to make our citizens feel about the importance of this clean and sustainable energy, we have to educate people, we have to that incorporate this education and training from the very beginning of not only of our school system, education system, but at every level or at the grassroots level. We have to educate people, create that kind of awareness, that how to sustainably consume energy, and how to use clean energy, how to, and at the government level, industry level, how to create the renewable energy, and how to focus on zero carbon footprint. So, the next is that like, for example, what would be the responsibilities of us as the global citizen, because all of us, we are the global citizen. What would be our responsibilities? So, responsibilities as a global citizen, the policy one is that bioenergy. Yes, first is the bioenergy. It can be the heart of any revolution in India. The world is waiting for that. So, spreading the awareness about the bioenergy by using the biofuel, so implementing that means kind of implementing it at the household level also serves two purposes. Introducing this bioenergy at the household level, the first it serves the two purposes. First thing is that to reduce the dependence on the grid power, electricity or other energy resources. So, it helps to cope with the that means transitional or the transition phase, or shifting towards becoming more carbon neutral. So, if we can depend on the this biofuel, so we can gradually shift towards the zero or carbon neutral energy sector. So, similarly, it also gives every individual a sense of responsibility towards the global crisis, not to waste energy, to save energy, and how to use it sustainably. Then policy 2 will be, yes, solar panels can be installed for the agricultural practices, for small business houses, small entrepreneurship, some small business and small businessmen like the coffee shops, restaurants, small business houses, small public space, and so with the idea of sustenance and sustenance of the affordable and clean energy. So, the solar panels not only can be introduced in agriculture sector, but in the rural sector for small time businessmen and the other kind of vendors of stationary products, coffee shops, restaurants, etc., with the idea of how to use it sustainably, sustainable and affordable and clean energy for the sustainable use of energy sources. So, then the bioenergy, yes, it is very essential for the country like India. Bioenergy is very essential. So, it is essential for the country like India to focus on the bioenergy because of the geographical constraints and economic constraints. So, bioenergy, you can say, we can it not only be, that means we can, every household can create it, can save it. So, it not only becomes very cheap, affordable and green in its approach, but it is also help us in creating the renewable energy and it will make us the self sufficient. So, self sufficient in our in maintaining our household activities. So, unlike solar and wind energy which requires large infrastructure, but this bioenergy sector, it is implementable, it is implementable in the small scale starting from the rural household. So, you can say that this for bioenergy the infrastructure requirements are very low, as you can see. Self sufficiency or sustainability is very high, and the technical knowledge required for this is the very low. With low technical knowledge we can start this business. Whereas the other renewable sources like solar, hydropower or wind, there the infrastructure cost is also high, and it requires certain that means self sustainability is low in the sense that it requires certain flow rate of hydropower, solar panels and the wind turbine produce energy. So, for given period it is a time bound, and again infrastructure is expensive, and we need the technical help for installing these things. So, therefore, it is its technical knowledge required is very high. So, engineers are required to be trained and construct this kind of panels. So, for that matter we need to introduce as an technical education discipline stream, and also we should promote the intensive research in this field, in the energy sector. So, here the household policies, the Government of India, National Capital Territory Delhi has already introduced this grid based incentives. Okay. Like for example, decided to utilize 31 square kilometer of rooftop space for the farmer to farm solar energy, solar energy. So, several initiatives like the grid based incentives of ₹2 per unit of gross solar energy will be generated, will be given to them households. This makes the regular households feel that yes, as if they are the part of this solution, and this solution has been brought for them only, for their help. So, this kind of awareness can be spreaded. So, here we can say that we can conclude that through the pedagogical framework we can implement it as an inclusive solution of the method towards the affordable and clean energy, how India can meet its target by becoming carbon neutral, zero carbon to minus, you can say towards the minus carbon target. So, this can ensure the measures to take for the future generation also, but at the same time here we can say that even if that means the stepwise, like through media, then through education institutions, through government initiatives, then through industries collaboration in terms of CSR projects, through educational research organizations collaboration. So, and by creating the employment job opportunities, the employment sector. So, this the whole system this kind of network, the whole system network or integrated network, then we can, yes, definitely if we can extensively work on this area, we can give our maximum effort, and we are really motivated to invest time, resources, our positive thoughts and effort in this. Definitely we can achieve it by 2030. So, let us hope for the best with the positive mindset to move forward to make our environment more clean, zero, that means carbon free, carbon neutral, carbon free, and with the sustainable energy system to live our life sustainably towards the future generation, and also save energy, says not only sustainably use it, but the save energy for the future generation. So, this is the carbon neutral goal to be achieved, okay, by different countries. Now, as you can see that China actually creates 27.2% carbon emission in this chart, as the maximum carbon emission is being done by the China, that is 27.2% across the globe. Then thereafter India is responsible 6.8 carbon emission, United States is 14.6. So, the developed countries are also emitting the higher percentage of carbon, of course depending on their geographical space. Then these are the Japan is only 3.3%, it is eco friendly, is very environment friendly. So, these states are actually the more eco-friendly United States, and these are the countries, that means you can say Russia and European countries, especially European countries, they have controlled very much. And in this area also, like some of the other countries, Middle East countries, Southeast countries, they are also very cautious in carbon emission, but the prominent are, you can say, China, United States, India is also 6.8, and rest of the world, rest of the world with 15.8%. So, as per the graph, we can say already Bhutan, like Bhutan and Suriname, they have already achieved their SDG goals, the sustainable and clean energy, and below that, Germany, Sweden, European Union, Japan, to some extent in United Nations, United Kingdom, United UK, France, they have also been successful in achieving to some extent. Their targets are like this, and now in law are the Canada, then the following things are Canada, South Korea, Spain, Denmark, New Zealand, they are also in the panel in the sequence. Whereabout, that means we are China, countries like China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, India are nowhere in this list, because we have to go a long way in this effort in creating renewable and sustainable energy. So, now recently how India has statements regarding India's promise for the carbon neutral. Now recently, after this G20 summit in Italy, PM Modi attended this conference on climate change, that is meeting held in Scotland, and there he made the promise to transform the India into the carbon neutral. So, though the deadline set by India might seem very late, that it is 20 years behind the US, behind that of the US, and decade behind the China, but unlike other countries in the West and even in China. So, India is a decade away from its peak in terms of economic growth and energy consumption. So, India's energy demand is also expected to grow faster than any other country over the next few years. So, its population is also is expected to overtake China also. So, that is so energy consumption, energy saving, sustainable energy creation, all these things are also affected by other socio-economic factors like education, population, economic condition, GDP, then job sector, employment sector, health sector, So, primarily education and health are the primary social sectors which are directly being affected and being affected by energy sector and also directly influence energy sector. So, how can we maintain this kind of thing without education, without sustainable health, without good health, and without population decrease or control over the population expansion, without creation of the jobs. So, that is why it is very difficult for India to reach the target. So, because India is already 2 decades or 2 decades 20 years back. So, because it is embedded with all these kind of socio-economic problems in this context, in Indian context, socio-economic problems, population problems, then other kinds of economic aspects like because of the low education, poor education, illiteracy, job opportunities or unskilled labors, so job opportunities are not available. So, in this context, to educate people, to create awareness, to update their living standard, and to make them conscious of this kind of saving energy and clean energy, it's a really difficult task, and it will that is why the India is much far behind comparison to China also. So, definitely all of us all of us being the global citizen and especially being the Indians, we have to make conscious effort to how to update our status, how to be at the international level, how to be in line with the Paris Agreement. So, similarly, the Indian NSG, that is Nuclear Suppliers Group, India's demand to be the member of the NSG group, that is as to achieve the carbon neutral goal by the set of the deadline. Similarly, India also made a renewed push to the membership of this coveted nuclear supplier group, that is called the NSG. So, ahead of this COP26 climate summit. So, it underlining that its climate and development goals are also tied with this kind of entry into the grouping. So, India also want to be a member of this nuclear suppliers group, NSG group, and this is the data set that as of the 2020 the NSG has 48 participating governments. So, India has also become an has also pleaded to become an one member of this NSG group. So, so in this context what the individuals can do? Yes, definitely as the Indian citizen, as the global citizen, at the government level, at the institutional level, these will be the things that we are supposed to do. But as an individual, what can we do, in which way we can contribute? So, the major changes need to come from the government's aspects and business houses, corporate houses, by the scientists, by the but however, the small changes can also take place from our effort, from our initiative. So that is why, so how can we sustainably use energy so that it can have the limited impact on the climate. For example, taking the fewer flights. So, when it is easy to go by cycle, by the walking, or by nearby areas by the cycle, etc. Why to use the motorcycle or four wheelers or the automobiles. So again, leave car free or use either electric car, that should be our ventures. Okay, buy energy efficient products like such as washing machines when they need the replacing. So suppose some machines, some old machines, some technology products, they are consuming more energy, so to replace it immediately with the low, like nowadays all the refrigerators and the air conditioning, coolers and all kinds of the electrical gadgets and the equipments are also are being prepared, are being produced with the minimum energy consumption facilities. So that we have to that means replace all our old machines, machineries and the technology gadgets, technology tools, etc. with this new products, with energy efficient products. Similarly, switching from the gas heating system to electric heat pump to that means to minimum as per the requirement, minimum use of sustainable use of water pumps, sustainable use of electricity, sustainable use of gas, all kinds of the consumption. So that is how we have to develop a kind of sustainable consumption style. So again, behavioral change also, behavioral change are also this small efforts can also bring the big change, like how Swachh Bharat scheme, Clean India, then Soch mentality, that means from our mentality, from our thinking, from our behavior also. Similar the COVID vaccines for for example vaccines to, that means to enhance the sustainable health, like India Ministry has already achieved the 100 crore target. Similarly, so for example, some vendor sells ice creams and aloo, etc. The near my house illustrations, like the vendors who are selling the ice creams and aloo chat in the leaf cup, that means using the sustainable packaging, green packaging instead of plastics and single use of plastics, and instead of using the plastic, etc. we can also have this and eco-friendly leaves, eco-friendly packaging systems can also be used. Similarly, recycled footwear, cloths and the plastics, jute bags, then that means sustainable, that means progressive utilization of some of the products, or maybe that the without dumping it, we can also distribute these things, old stuff among the poor people, so that it can be useful in their households for them also. So how to use it, renew it, and sustainability use it. So there is a theory in economics that is called the progressive utilization theory. So from the day we have purchased it, how we can maximally use it, that is the progressive utilization of the same product again and again in new formats, and at the end it will, how it is going to be used till the last till the last condition, the last condition of this product, be it the footwear, be it the cloths, be it the utensils, be it the other consumable consumable items. So here can say we can follow these steps, we can follow this, you can say these steps: reduce, reuse, recycle, recovery and the landfill. So, again at the end, like for recycling of the waste management, or either we can dump it in the safely dispose it in the waste in the waste in the waste system system, that is a safe disposal of the waste to the landfill in the landfill. So, that can be so that it can be that means it is, or you can say that is that it can be biodegradable. The waste is, it can be biodegradable. So, that is these are the steps we can follow. So, to minimize the waste to minimize the waste products and successfully processing this waste product, reusing these materials, and at the end dumping it within the landfill, which will be easily biodegradable in nature. So, similarly stubble burning. So, it is that you might have come across this all these in the Punjabs, Haryana and Punjab, all these kind of especially Haryana, this stubble burning, how it causes the carbon carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and how it affects the nearby states especially in the Delhi territory. So, how to reduce it, that means resolve this issue, stubble burning, because it creates a huge amount of carbon dioxide and it affects the affects the climate, the nearby states climate and weather. So, how it is a big challenge, really it is a big challenge. Here we have to be innovative in the sense that how can we create some kind of machinery, some product, etc., to that means to dissolve this kind of thing. So, how boomer spray teaching technology can also help it in this direction. So, biodecomposers on the freshly harvested rice fields, and that accelerates the process of turning this into rice stubbles into the compost, etc., and with the short span of that 8 days. So, how with the spray, with this kind of this spray technology, how can we dissolve it, and how to educate our farmers and the rural people regarding this technology, so that the stubble burning can be curbed, and it can be stopped, and we can maintain our climate, maintain our weather and the climate and the air quality better. So, here now is the with the conclusion that I like, for example. So, here we can say that here without all our efforts putting together, no one is safe. So, no one is safe till everyone does something, contribute something, or at least lead a sustainable lifestyle and consumption style. Okay. So, global citizenship is a topic which can also enhance these things. We can also spread the owning the responsibility of taking care of our ecosystem, and be conscious about the carbon emissions and the how to minimize our carbon footprint. So, IPCC also taking the IPCC rules as that means policy on the climate change, how to take it seriously and to act upon it, and fix the issues above the state accountable, or review the situation from time to time. Global climatic fund mandate realizations of this this $1 billion. So, it's how to use it sustainably. Then the implementing the laws, customary laws to all the member states, and how within the country also how should we comply to the national laws with regard to the environment protection, environmental regulations, environment that means quality control. Similarly, so goals of the commitments would also be emphasized, bringing the energy security, like the food security, energy security will also be there by increasing the share of the clean power, increasing energy availability and access, affordability, maximize the energy equity, then monitoring, then evaluation. So, all kinds of things are to be taken seriously, and all the citizens should be educated as a mandatory component, as a compulsory discipline from the very beginning. And the rural people or the illiterate adults, they can be informally and non-formally educated to be energy conscious, and how to, and from time to time this would be educated, that means which equipment, which system, which technology, which machinery, which product is energy efficient product, how to replace all the things, the old things with the new energy efficient system, products, etc. And this process would be a continuous process, a lifelong process, a continuous process. So, it is our all of us the responsibility to spread the awareness, educate people, organize the workshop. It is not just the responsibility of government or media and so, but it is the responsibility of every stakeholder, every citizen of India, because we are the global citizen, and our primary responsibility is to take care of our planet, not only India, but our whole planet. And India is interconnected, is a part of this global scenario. So, first initially to begin with from our home, to take our own state, own country, and therefrom onwards to move towards the global targets. So, the Paris Agreement also the same thing, adaptation of the Article 7, adaptation and mitigation of the same. So, the nationally determined contributions and national adaptation plans, we have to stick to these rules and regulations, we have to follow these articles. So, and also these Nobel Prize are also being given to, Nobel Prize for climate action are also being given. These are the data like this is the first time that climate scientists, so Manabe and Hasselmann, have been awarded the physics Nobel Prize. So, those who have worked on this climate change has awarded the work for the physical modeling of Earth's climate and quantifying the variability and reliability predicting the global warming. So, the physics scientists working on the climate change, they have been awarded. So, 2021 Nobel Prize in Physics is being jointly awarded to Sukura Manabe and the Hasselmann, Klaus Hasselmann, and the other half to the Giorgio Parsi for the groundbreaking contribution to our understanding of the complex physical system. So, these are the things that has to be, these kind of things should be spreaded, disseminated properly, so that more and more students, more and more professionals will be involved, engaged in the energy research and development. So, these are some of the things, as we have already seen, that these are the climatic change challenges we are facing: greenhouse gas emission, global warming, storms, floods, hurricanes, disasters, all kinds of things. How can it be mitigated, how it can be resolved? So, solutions like Paris Agreement, we have to follow the Paris Agreement, take the action against the climate change, then again mitigate adopt the climate change thing by reduce the emissions, okay, by use the, and by engaging ourselves in more advanced research, scientific research on climate change and energy, and protect the most vulnerable against the climate change, that is our greenery and our planet Earth. I think we are going to conclude this topic, that is sustainable, affordable and sustainable and clean energy. So, I think so I am concluding here only. Thank you very much.